Oh shit, Abraham is a G, man. I got some high hopes for this dude. Anyway, Walking Dead, season 4, episode 11. Abraham's clique, they come across a blockade with some walkers, right? And it looks like my man Abraham, he likes messing with these walkers. It's like a hobby to him. Plus they don't need to waste anything. And what I mean by that is, he's like when they come to this blockade with all these cars in the way, they got to get around them or move the cars out the way. That's what they had to do, move the cars out the way. Homegirl, I can't remember what her name is, Lesbo. She, if that's not offensive, hopefully I don't think you guys think it's offensive. She comes, I can't remember her name. That's why I said that. She takes the gun and goes to shoot them. He says, "No, you don't do it like that." He grabs a what was it, crowbar? Was it crowbar or something? And he starts taking it to him. And this guy is grinning from ear to ear like he's having the time of his life. Now, they don't want to waste bullets. I like that. Like, where the governor, used to operate. This is the zombie apocalypse. Bullets are too valuable, even though you don't want to use them. Why? Because if you get into a situation where you're surrounded, you know what I'm saying? Then we're going to need it. Or you get into a situation where a long range is optimal, then you're going to need it. But for 1 or 2 walkers, every time you use a bullet and, you just waste shells, that girl's going to waste all the bullets they had in the world. So, yeah, Abraham, I'm already starting to like him. You know what I'm saying? He showed, his character is just like hardcore. You know what I'm saying? Because we need another one because Daryl and Michonne ain't going to hold this whole show by themselves. Anyway, Carl's chilling with Michonne, right? But, he runs his mouth too much. He gets to talking about Judith and whatnot. I like the beginning of it, but then when Carl put his foot in his mouth, I'm like, okay, please don't turn back into that whining, Carl that you was last episode or the episode before, whatever one it was. Anyway, he goes off. Carl and Michonne and Rick, they have a little talk about what's going to happen. Michonne, she seemed like she was ready just to give up the group. I don't know about all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm thinking that core group needs to stay together. You know what I'm saying? They made it too far to just give up on everybody now, She said, are we going to stay here and just make this home, or are we going to damn. She said, are we going to go back and look for everybody? Rick seemed like he was unsure. That was kind of crazy. He's like, well, we'll stay here until we figure something out. Figure what out? Find the group. Y'all been doing that from day one. That was kind of weird in this episode. And Rick, like, he's been wishy-washy at points in times, throughout, starting from, I want to say, about somewhere near the end of the 3rd season, something like that. He's been wishy-washy at points, No. He started at the beginning of the 3rd season, but it really didn't get bad, or he didn't make any real big mistakes to the end, I believe, with the governor, something like that. With the choice he made with the governor, that's when it really got, like, come on, Rick, get your act together. So I didn't like that. I'm like, come on, man, Rick, come on, get your team together, or at least find some of them. You know what I'm saying? Just find something. Give it a minute. He act like he didn't know whether, which was better, just to keep moving with just them 3 or to find the other team. Find your team, man. Ain't like you're going to live long without it. Anyway, Michonne and Carl, they go out to make a run. I think that was the downfall of this episode. I'm not going to say downfall because I think it was a good episode overall because other things made up for it. They went out on a run. Now, Rick got caught up in damn home invasion back at the crib. So he had stayed at the crib to rest. Michonne he said, yo, Michonne, hold this down while Carl, hold Carl down while they make these runs and whatnot. So Carl had to rest. Rick had to rest. He's all beat up. He got into the fight of his life just a minute ago. So yeah, it's a good thing that he chose to rest. But then while he's sitting there asleep, he hears a whole bunch of talking downstairs. Now, at first, I was like, uh-oh. Because I'm hearing these voices, and I'm thinking, Was that him? Because you know he cracked a few screws in his head a minute ago. Yo, what's up, Prodigy? What's up, Blue Ranger? Um, yeah, he lost a couple marbles, so I was like, please don't tell me this dude about to go nuts again. Now, we already had that already, so I don't want to see it again. You know what I'm saying? We had a good bout with that. I'm ready for Rick to come back, and be what I know he can be. You understand? So anyway, he's resting, and these people come in, and we finally realized, I finally realized it was really people in there. He wakes up, he's like, well, damn, what the hell is going on? Dudes is down the stairs acting a fool. And they come up the steps. He hides under the bed. Now, some people might say he's supposed to be hardcore. Why don't you just fight? Nah, hide under the bed and see if because they could just be going through the house just for a minute. You know how people clear houses. If they were doing that, obviously other teams probably were doing that. Find equipment, material, whatever they need to in order to survive. So hide under the bed just in case, because they might have just left in like maybe 10 minutes anyway. Dude decides to sleep on top of the bed when Rick was under there. That part had me laughing. He was like, I know he was praying like, please let these motherfuckers, find what they need and get the hell on. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, back to Michonne and Carl. They have a little heart-to-heart in the suicide house. That was the epitome of the bad in this episode, because we got the development we needed for Michonne already in the previous episode and the episode before that, if I'm not mistaken. All they did was tell, the only information we really got from that was Michonne's baby's name, her son's name. That was too slow. I mean, the pacing was slow. It was garbage. They didn't get anything done. They found some Swiss cheese or something like. That whole scene was garbage. And y'all know I like Michonne. I did not want to see that scene. The whole scene was garbage. It was slow paced. Nothing really happened. We already know Michonne and Carl are, they got a little bit of a bond. We already know that. We don't need it to be reestablished in this episode. They could have just stuck with just, Rick's plight. Rick's plight was a lot more interesting than that. So that was the worst part of this episode. It was just so slow. The payoff was just so little, just to hear a name. She walks into this room where she sees this whole family committed suicide. That's what I meant by suicide house. And you could tell because the back of the brain was blown out and they weren't moving around when she came in. So they had committed suicide in their house, and she's crying like, oh my God, my family, they lost their family, I lost my family. We already know that. Now, if they want to show some more, about Michonne, that's fine. Do it in a different episode, being that we already got a lot or a fair amount in the last little while. And if you do it, please show us some more information other than what we already knew. We already knew she had, abandonment issues or whatever. Anyway, through with that. That was the worst part of this episode. And that really kind of made me like, I don't know whether to rate this low or not. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, it was a fucking bedroom brawl broke out back at Rick's place, right? Dude's laying on the bed. This was one of the funniest parts of the episode. He's laying on the bed. His teammate comes up there. He says, yo, I'm laying in this bed. Dude's like, he says 2 other bedrooms, bitch. That part had me laughing. I was dying. He says 2 more bedrooms, bitch. That part had me laughing. That was off the chain hilarious. Now Rick's under the bed, like, damn, what I got myself into. They get to wrestling and whatnot, and the dude he's really like trying to hurt his own, comrade. And he doesn't see Rick at first. Then next thing he sees Rick, he's telling the dude, he's like, yo, calm down. I'm trying to tell you something. It's somebody under this bed. The dude knocks him, out cold. Like, that's how these guys get down. So you can already tell this was kind of like a rough crew, and that they were probably getting their hands into something that they really shouldn't be. Because a few teams that we already know of, like the team that was, that Shane and Rick had to get rid of that boy from, or whatever his team was with, they was raping girls and killing men and stuff like that. That seems like that's what type of crew this was. Anyway, Abraham's camp, back at Abraham's camp, something good actually happened. that picked up in this episode. You know, Abraham was the savior in this episode. Not just him, but his whole team. At the beginning, it was nice. Then we got this next scene where him and Glenn get into a little, you know, scuffle. Glenn is telling him, "Yo, we got to go back and get Maggie." My man Abraham, he tells him, "Yo, we got an important mission." He said, "We're trying to get back to DC. I got this guy Eugene with me. That's another dude in his team. You know, his name Eugene, and he's a scientist." I told y'all asses. Cause everybody, well, I ain't gonna say everybody. I got maybe a message or two with somebody saying the CDC is out or the CDC in every country is gone. So there's no way that there could be, you know, any kind of way of curing this disease or whatever it is that's causing these walkers to get back up and start, you know, chewing people up. I said, just because the CDC is gone don't mean that there's no scientists out there. Not only that, even if there aren't any scientists, somebody's going to be smart enough to, you know, there was a time on this planet where there was no scientists. So as long as there's people around, there's always hope. And on top of that, the world can't keep going on if every time somebody dies, they take out 10 people, and then those 10 people take out another 10. It's not going to work. You seen what happened back at the prison. One person went walking on them, and the whole prison got turned upside down. Shit just went sideways in a minute. So they gotta find a cure, and that's just it. So anyway, they found out that Abraham's team is on my man, what's my man name? Sylvester Stallone from Demolition Man. They on that type of mission. Bushy called him. Glenn is still trying to find Maggie, but what happens is he starts walking. And my man Abraham tells him, he said, "Yo, we need as many people as we can for this, you know, mission." He's not delusional. He said the more it's like safety in numbers. I thought my boy Glenn was gonna say, "Well, if you need numbers, I got a nice ass clique, and ain't nobody fucking with my clique, 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 clique." That's what I thought he was gonna say. And I actually think that was the best thing to say, because he's on the road on a mission to get one person, and when they're trying to save the entire planet. Or the human species, we'll say that. He's trying to save that. So, add it up. So, if Glenn would have said, "Yo, it's other people other than Maggie. I had a nice crew with me." You know what I'm saying? We got Rick, we got Michonne, we got Daryl. If we find my team, they could help. You seen how I was able to take out walkers. We got people way more efficient than me in that crew in terms of Daryl and Michonne. So I think that if he would have said that, that would have had a bigger effect. It was like, we're in the car, man. We could turn around and get back there in just a couple hours. You know what I'm saying? And if we have more hands on deck, it's going to, you know, be easier. And he already know that Abraham ain't no, you know, or I'm not going to say no, but we're at that point where you can kind of see Abraham ain't no, you know, what am I trying to say? His team ain't one of those teams, you know, those seek and destroy teams. So I would have trusted him to a certain extent. I'd be like, "Yo, let me go get my team together. If we help me get my team together, we can help you get to, you know, find out what's going on in DC and, you know, and help with that." So I think he should have said that. I don't know why he didn't. His mind was just so set on Maggie, and even though he's got a whole other team with him, I understand that he wants Maggie, but you got other people too. So even though your main focus, I can understand, is Maggie because that's your wife. I would think that he'd say, "Yo, what about Rick? What about Michonne? What about Daryl? What about," you know what I'm saying? I would think, "What about Beth? That's her sister." He didn't even say anything about the sister. You see what I'm saying? Like that was kind of like, come on, man, get your act together. But that happened anyway. Glenn turns around and he lays it. Like I thought, matter of fact, I thought that Glenn was gonna open up on homeboy with that gun. Like that's how lost Glenn looked. But anyway, he just turned around and punched him. Abraham gets into a scuffle when he lays Glenn out. Now, in the midst of this scuffle, walkers approach, and Glenn is by himself. We see that Glenn can't handle no walkers. I mean, not Glenn, Eugene. My bad. I said Glenn. Eugene. He gets approached, and we see that he can't handle no walkers. He's telling them, he said, "Yo, I got a problem." They're not listening because they're still in that scuffle. He pulls out a gun. Obviously, he can't, you know, dude can't even fire a gun. He's just letting off rounds into these things, and it's doing nothing. They go back over there to help him out, and now they wasting a whole bunch of shells trying to messing with these walkers. That part was crazy. But in the midst of this, Eugene let off a few rounds or two to the tank, and they start leaking fuel. And that's it. That car is done now. You know what I'm saying? They can't refuel it. They can't put no fuel in it. You gotta replace the whole tank or find replace the whole tank or find a new vehicle at that point in time. So now Glenn, I'm starting to mix up Eugene with Glenn. But anyway, Glenn is on his renegade path. He starts going back towards Maggie. If it was a 3-hour car ride, it's going to take a while to get back there on foot. Hopefully, they can find the car in the meantime. Eugene says, "Yo, let's follow them." What's her name? Rosita, I think her name's Rosita. Yes, she says, "Okay, let's follow them." She said, "Might as well. We pick up a couple people on the route, or pick up at least one person on the route. And plus, on top of that, they said, what you call my man Eugene? He said, I'm smarter than you. He cocky. But that's a big part of this episode. Just that one little sentence. That's a big part of it. There won't be a cure in the series before the point. If you guys read the comics. If you guys read the comment, please don't put no spoilers in there. Anyway, he says I'm smarter than you, and my man Abraham actually listens to him. He says we don't know what's going down that path. Now we keep walking towards it. We might get surrounded by walkers at any given time, but going back this way, we know it's pretty clear, and we can probably get a vehicle on the way, or we could help find this girl. And if we find this girl, we might be able to put in another team together, whatever. Why is this guy putting these? Please, Jesse, please don't put no spoilers in there. Please, I'm begging you, man. Please. Anyway, that's what happened with Abraham's camp. Now, damn team at Rick's place turned out to be damn psychopaths. Because you already seen them lay one guy out, but then they were downstairs talking, and they said that there was a girl here. Uh-oh. Then the guy says she could be long gone. They're looking for females to rape. You understand? That's hard. You already knew what that meant. So now Rick is in the position where, okay, I can't run because Michonne and Carl could be back at any moment. I might have to fight these guys. And we already see that these guys are psychopaths. When they see Rick and Michonne, when they see Carl and Michonne, they might start letting off and Carl and just take Michonne and get busy. So Rick has to go into G mode, which I was so happy about because Rick has been going soft on us. Now we finally seen the old Rick, the Rick that takes action. He takes out one of them. He makes it out the house. Yeah, please. He makes it out the house, and now he's on the steps. And we see throughout the episode, maybe 3 points in time, they try to build suspense by having people damn near catch him. Like the guy throwing the ball, the dude goes over to the spit, the guy, sees him under the bed. They have maybe 3, maybe even 4 times with somebody almost catching. They just doing that just to build up suspense. Anyway, Michonne and Carl is getting back, and it looks like they were going to get caught. They said that should be my catchphrase. Nah. Okay, I understand you being vague, but just try to keep spoilers out of it. I respect you, man. I don't want to sit there and just say, yo, don't comment, but please try to keep spoilers out because a lot of people don't read the comics, and I haven't read the comics either. Anyway, Michonne and Carl is getting back, and it looks like they're getting ready to get caught up in some damn gunfire because the dudes are there is sitting out on the porch. Looks like he's gonna spot them. Anyway, some dude, I think it was a walker. I'm not sure if it was a walk, but I know some shit went off in that house and some gunfire went off. So now the dude ran into the house, and Rick goes for Michonne and Carl and said, "Let's get the fuck out of Dodge." So now Rick and Michonne and Carl, they hit these same train track that Tyrese is on. They hit this a train car, and it says seek refuge in whatever direction, which is the same sign that Tyrese's team seen. So Rick's team is about to catch up to Tyrese's team. So that's how we going. So that's how part of the team is gonna hook back up. We got Tyrese's team and Rick's team. They're gonna merge. Glenn is Glenn and Abraham is going. Looks like they're gonna run into. The stuff is like at least 2 or 3 seasons from now. Okay. Anyway, Glenn and Abraham looks like they're gonna run into Maggie. And if they run into Maggie, they're gonna run into Sasha and Bob. Anyway, this episode, that was the end of the episode. Michonne, like I said, Michonne and Carl, that shit was slow as hell. The payoff was just not much. It was just the name. We went through all that slow stuff just to hear a name. Dude, that shit dumb. That was stupid. You know what I'm saying? I respect you too, by the way. Yeah, I respect you, Jesse. Anyway, another one thing I'm concerned with is Michonne from this episode. I hope they don't turn her into a pussy. And what I mean by that is, we seen she came into the game as a hard ass. We like that. She opened up a little bit. That's fine. At this point in time, it seems like she's opening up too much. I don't want to see her, turn into a damn clown or a jester or something like that. She's playing with Carl and whatnot. At this point in time, I can still say I still like Michonne. I think she's fine. But I don't want to get to the point where she's just completely open and she wants to talk about her feelings and emotions and stuff like that. Then it's going to turn into something that we didn't fall in love with that Michonne. I don't want them to turn into a damn clown. That's what it looks like they might do. So I'm hoping that they don't do that. The point that she's at right now, stop it right there. She could be like she is now. Don't take it any further. I don't want them to turn into a damn chump. You know what I'm saying? We like Daryl and Michonne because they're hard asses. Keep them like that. You know what I'm saying? Michonne can open up a little bit. Daryl opened up a little bit. Don't open them up anymore. You know what I'm saying? They opened up enough. We're still in the apocalypse. It's not like the apocalypse ended and now they can do whatever they want. We're still in damn apocalypse. So anyway, but one good thing, the good thing about this episode was Abraham was a G. I already like him. His team is structured. And what I mean by that is we find out Eugene is the smart one. He said I'm smarter than you. We find out when he said that term in terms told us that okay, it looks like he's going to be the brains of the operation. Even though it looks as if I agree with you about Carl Michonne. Yeah. Even though it looks like my man Abraham is the leader of the team, is the primary leader of the team, I should say. It looks like they're saying Eugene is the brains behind the crew. So now we got special roles for him. He doesn't fight, so or it looks like he can't fight too well. So we can see that he's not going to play a role in muscle. So he's going to be the brains of the team. So that proved it right there when he said I'm smarter than you. We could tell that Abraham is the muscle of the team. That dude's a loose cannon. He's the muscle of the team. That girl, what's her name? Rosita. Look like she's gonna be some ass from time to time. Some fine ass to be at that. So that's or I don't know what role she's gonna play because they really didn't say what role she plays other than she's on I think on Talking Dead they said that was his girl, that was Abraham's girl. You know what I'm saying? She looks like she's gonna be some of the muscle also. But I don't know what specific role she's gonna play. We can already see that Abraham is a primary leader, primary muscle, and Eugene's the primary brain. So that was a good thing. I like how they structured the team and let us know what happened. Abraham's team's gonna grow. That's another good thing. We already see they're gonna run into Maggie and whatnot. They don't need to run into Daryl. Why? Because he's a tracker. He's gonna find them regardless. Because if he finds any one of the team, as long as Abraham and Glenn find them, he's gonna run into them. So the team's gonna get back together. Daryl and Beth are least of our concern, but we seen in the preview that they were gonna have a run-in with some walkers. The only thing we worry about is whether they're gonna make it through it, and I pretty much think they're gonna make it through it because Daryl's a G. The only thing holding them back is fucking Beth. Beth might get them fucking killed because Beth can't take down the walker for shit. That's the one problem. They might be having her take over Andrea's role in the comic as Rick's new love interest, which could be bad or good. Oh, is he talking about Michonne? I thought Michonne was gonna wind up with Tyrese. Maybe, maybe not. She's already good with the kids. But another good thing was the Rick scene, that bedroom brawl, that part was funny as hell. You know what I'm saying? That part was funny, and then we got to see the old Rick. Rick finally taking charge, taking action, kicking ass, taking names, you know what I'm saying? And he didn't seem as wishy-washy. He said, yo, let's make this move when they left that house. I hope they keep that up. You know what I'm saying? I want them to bring the old Rick back, but even if he makes the wrong decision, he's like, yo, I had to stick by my decision because even though we might make some wrong decisions, we got to make decisions in general anyway. So I'm hoping that they keep that. I hope Rick stops being so wishy-washy and he stays the way he was at the beginning. I mean, at when this home invasion happened in this episode. So that was the good thing about this episode. That's what I like. So overall, I'm gonna say that Michonne and Carl scene, that stuff slowed it down, and I'm hoping that she doesn't, become a pussy. But Abraham and Rick set this episode off. The bedroom brawl, that was good. So I wanted to say 3.5 out of 5. I'm gonna go ahead and say 4. 4 out of 5 stars. I think that was good. I think this episode was good enough. But that, like I said, the only real thing that really slowed this episode down was Michonne and Carl. I didn't want to just say, yo, I'm gonna give it a shitty grade just because of that one thing, even though it took a nice chunk out of the episode. Okay, let me see what's happening in the comments. I agree about Carl and Michonne. All right, we already were established about their relationship and didn't get much more besides a tighter bond. Hopefully that pays off in the future episode. Exactly, that's what I'm trying to say. We didn't need it. It was dumb. They might be having okay, that's pretty much it. All right, well, we don't have any more comments. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. Anime and manga means more. Like the video and subscribe. I said my outro in the reverse order by accident because I'm an idiot. Anyway, Michonne is fine as hell. Rosita is fine as hell. Damn, what's my girl name? Sasha is fine as hell. And Megan, she's okay. I said Megan. I said that again. Maggie, she's okay. I don't know. Maybe I got a different taste in women because everybody keep going crazy over her. But anyway, peace.